This year marks the 20th anniversary of our designation as a public honors college in Maryland. As we have reflected on what that means for our future, I could not imagine a more fitting speaker to address our graduates on this moment in our history. Graduates, students, faculty, staff, special guests on stage, and those in the audience, please welcome the 2013 commencement speaker, the Honorable Martin O'Malley, Governor of Maryland.
Thank you. Thanks very much. President Ergo, Chairwoman Molly Matthews, Congressman and Leader Steny Hoyer, faculty, honored guests, grateful and very relieved parents. It is really a great pleasure to be able to share this awesome day with you, and a humbling honor as well. I love St. Mary's College. You know, you can feel the history and you can sense the future as you walk these beautiful grounds. A century ago, this place was settled in the name of religious liberty and religious freedom. And today, this college stands as a beacon of free thought and open discourse. To the class of 2013, congratulations, you did it. And in a few moments, you are going to join a very select club. In a relatively short period of human history, we are told now that 86% of our world's population now has access to a mobile phone. But get this, less than 7% have what you are about to receive, namely a college diploma. Less than 7%. Now, membership in this club is not free. And I'm not talking merely about tuition. I'm talking about something deeper. Because with your diploma comes a responsibility of individual leadership. In our country, every person is needed. And so, we commence. Our world is changing rapidly. Global economic recessions and instability, nation-state failures, global poverty, global pandemic, global migration, global climate change, global terror, asymmetrical warfare. In your lifetime, get this, in your lifetime, the population of our planet will nearly double. And the scientists of our world assert with near unanimity that we are on the verge of burning up the atmosphere of our planet. Now, anyone who tries to tell you that these challenges are not real is either uninformed or they're simply not being honest with you. But at the same time, anyone who ignores the millions of reasons for optimism in this world simply does not have their eyes open. These things are not happening to us, my friends. They are happening for us. Life is an ever-evolving story of change and choice, and every challenge holds the seed of opportunity. Adversity is not our enemy. Adversity is the catalyst of all progress. And these are some of the most exciting times to be alive. Think about it. In a relative instant of human time, we've gone from manned flight to men walking on the moon. From human vaccine to human genome, from the telegraph to the internet. And at this point, at the point of this ascending arrow, always is the effort, imagination, and will of the individual human spirit. Here at St. Mary's, consider the story of Peter Burns from Montgomery County. Peter lives with... Now, Peter lives with cerebral palsy. His legs require a wheelchair, but his spirit knows no limits. His dad moved the family near campus to support his son's attainment of a degree. And together they've attended classes, they've cheered on the Seahawks, and they've participated in campus life together. And today, Peter graduates with honors. There is also the story of Brittany Davis from Baltimore City. Now, Brittany lost her father at a very young age, and her mom, Rosalind, had to work hard to support her and each of her 5 siblings. But Rosalind had big dreams for her daughter, and expectations become behavior. The transition to St. Mary's was challenging. There have been starts, there have been stops, there have been struggles and breakthroughs. But Brittany returned to St. Mary's, and with a talent that inspires leadership in others, in a few moments, Brittany Davis will become the first member of her family to receive a college diploma. Now, these individual stories, these individual stories are also Marilyn's story, as are the stories of each and every one of you. Marilyn's response to adversity, Marilyn's history, Marilyn's future. You see, here in Maryland, we have been placed at the center and the forefront, called the American Revolution. And it is not over, it is ongoing. Yesterday, it was a revolution of muskets and bayonets. Today, it is a revolution of science and technology and healing, discovery, and innovation. For the second year in a row, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce just last week named your state #1 state in America for innovation and entrepreneurship. In labs and classrooms, all across our state, Marylanders are revolutionizing the way we feed and fuel and heal our planet. From Dr. Robert Gallo's work on the AIDS vaccine to the discovery taking place at places like NASA Goddard, the Applied Physics Lab, Aberdeen Proving Ground, and NINI Incorporated here in St. Mary's. From the cures and healing being developed at places like MedImmune and NIH, to the net zero homes being built by Nexus Energy Homes in Frederick. Last year, Maryland achieved the fastest rate of new job growth of any state in the region. The life sciences, biotech, clean tech, green tech, information technology, cybersecurity, space, aerospace, global trade, and advanced manufacturing. As our challenges are big, so too must our efforts be big. Our leadership, our compassion for one another, and the future our children will share. And innovation is the key. Innovation not only in science and technology, but also in art and music. The innovation that only conceptual and critical thinking, the sort of thinking that you've learned here at St. Mary's, will bring about. The innovation that creates jobs by improving the delivery and accelerating the delivery of higher education and better skills for all of our people. The job-creating innovations that improve the health and security of our people. The innovation that creates jobs in clean energy and green design to improve the sustainability of our way of life. The job-creating innovations necessary to save humanity from the devastation of climate change and the massive loss of human life that it portends. The innovation born of a deeper understanding of the relationship between our relationships to one another, our relationship to the other systems, living systems of this planet, and a deeper understanding of the systemness upon which all life depends. The question, class of 2013, is not whether we move left or right, but whether we move forward or back. And no citizen has the option of escaping the answer. Good intentions are important, but good intentions are insufficient. A new mindset is required for the new action that our world requires. A new way of organizing human endeavor is needed. And this is true in business, it's true in government, it's true in every sector and nonprofit sectors A new way of organizing and governing ourselves is required. More open, more transparent, more accountable, even as it becomes more inclusive, more compelling, and more compassionate. A new way that is at once ever more effective, even as it becomes ever more personalized. And you are among the firstborn of this new information age. You know, today all across the globe, people are becoming more powerful than their governments. They're becoming better connected. They're becoming better informed. You're graduating today at the threshold of a new era of American progress. And at your fingertips are actually rising standards of living, better educated children, more affordable college, a more highly skilled American workforce, safer neighborhoods, a safer and more resilient homeland, healthier people, a more sustainable way of living if you choose to make it so. But achieving this progress will require a different kind of leadership, and it requires it from each and every one of you. Your parents grew up in a time when leadership was ideological, hierarchical, and bureaucratic. But your age, this new information age, calls for a different way. It calls for leadership that is fundamentally entrepreneurial, leadership that is collaborative, leadership that is accountable, performance measured, and relentlessly interactive, leadership that creates common platforms to connect and empower individuals, leadership which is willing to open source information in order to unlock the individual community-based solutions needed on a massive scale, leadership which understands the power of human dignity and the strength of our diversity. And so, I leave you with this prayer. May the gift of leadership awaken in you as a vocation and keep you mindful of the providence that calls you to serve. When the way is flat and dull in times of gray endurance, may your imagination continue to evoke horizons. May your work be infused with passion and creativity and have the wisdom to balance compassion and challenge. And may integrity of soul be your first ideal, the source that will guide and will bless your work. Congratulations.